What's up, Mets fans? Welcome back to the channel. And as many of you saw by now, we broke the news live as it first happened this past Saturday, sharing our initial reactions. So make sure to check it out. Links in the description as always, folks. That Buck Showalter is a new skipper in Queens, and Steve Cohen couldn't even contain himself like a kid in a candy store. The report wasn't supposed to come out until today, this Monday, but he ended up doing it over the weekend because he wanted to break the news himself, saying the source is me. So happy to bring him in as a new manager. So shout out Uncle Stevie for doing that. I love that. But now that Buck is a new manager in Queens, it's awfully important that we break down the overall direction that we've seen the Mets been going down this offseason, heading into 2022 and beyond, and how this move to get Buck Showalter further proves that the Mets are going all in with nothing holding them back on trying to win a championship in the near future. And of course, folks, if you find yourself enjoying this kind of Mets content and you want to see more great Mets content like this, don't hesitate from smashing that like and subscribe on, sharing this video with your friends, on the notification bell, all those great things. Thank you all so much for the continued support, folks. Now let's jump right into today's video. All right, folks, so none of this should really come as a surprise with the Mets' mindset on their direction this offseason. I'm focusing on the now because it perfectly fits what Steve Cohen preached to us when he first came in as owner, that he expects us to win within the next 3 to 5 years. That first year didn't go so hot. We're in first place for over 100 days, fell out, didn't even make playoffs. That obviously rubbed Steve Cohen and the entire Mets organization the wrong way. So what have they done this offseason? They have done everything humanly possible at this point to change things drastically, to do a complete 180. And now to get Buck Showalter, what this tells you on what was the X factor with Buck versus the Contreras and the Espadas of the world, and trust me, there were multiple, but the main thing here is that they're getting a guy that's here not for a long time, but for a fun time. A Buck Showalter that viewed himself, as he said in the past, thought he would be retired, done in his career after his time in Baltimore when that ended after the 2018 season. So to have him basically come out of retirement in that sense, even though it was unofficial, and for him to come to the New York Mets at the age of 65, turning 66 in spring, tells you that he has that drive, but he's here to just win now, right? Exactly why the Contreras and the Espadas of the world, the upside of them would be that they're a potential long-term fit for the Mets, but that isn't the Mets' focus right now. It's been made abundantly clear. So to get someone like Buck, he knows what it takes to win. He wants to get over that hump to really solidify his Hall of Fame type resume. He's on a 3-year deal now with the Mets with the highest AAV and manager's history with the New York Mets, according to reports that I've seen. I don't know exactly how much money he's getting right now. We'll see if that comes out sooner than later. But Buck knows why he's here. Mets know why he's here, and they view him as the best potential fit right now to get them where they want to be, which is the promised land starting 2022. And that's exactly why the Max Scherzers of the world, you signed him a 3-year, $130 million groundbreaking deal. Exactly why Max Scherzer wanted someone like Buck Showalter that we discussed previously on the channel, that he prefers a guy like Buck that is established, but is also someone that's going to be here for Scherzer's entire tenure, which tells you that, again, the emphasis is not just on the short term, but it's about winning now. It's about going all in, all gas, no breaks from trying to get yourself to succeed and win a championship starting next season. The Marcanas, the Eduardo Escobars, great contracts, bargain deals on short-term deals, 2 years apiece. Starling Marte, yes, you had to go 4 years with him, but that was because the asking price was so high because all the other teams, there was a bidding war going on, especially with rivals in your division like the Phillies, but they still land Marte, 4-year deal, nothing really long-term. Exactly why, in part, why they didn't commit to someone like a Javi Baez potentially going on that 6-year deal to Detroit. So this further tells you time and time again this offseason the direction the Mets are going down, but they're not just all talk. And that's the best feeling about this for us Mets fans. For a Mets fandom like myself, for all of us that want to see this team succeed, we're all so used to by now hearing false promises by the Brody Van Wagnens, by the Wilpons, or by whatever favorite team you guys have across New York sports. It's inevitable. It always happens. Now the Mets have an owner and Steve Cohen that doesn't just talk the talk, he walks the walk, and he's going to do anything and everything he possibly can to get this team to succeed starting right here, right now, which tells you that once the lockout is lifted as well, they're going to continue to deep dive and go all in, humanly possible, to address this roster to their abilities without giving up their long-term future and their top prospects. And that's exactly the route that they need to be going down. So again, to land someone like Buck, who knows what it takes to win, who's established, who knows his role coming to the Mets right away, who's ready to thrive like never before, and to really come into a Mets organization, something where he's going to be in a spot that he hasn't been in before either when you look at his potential fit. Again, he just wants to win at the end of the day. That's why he's here, and that's the exact reason why Buck wouldn't be going after just any managerial opening across the MLB. He didn't do that for a reason. He did that here with the Mets because he knows what they are building. He wants to be part of it, and this very well could not just be his last hurrah. It will be, but it could potentially be his best hurrah, and hopefully ending down in the sunset with a championship on his resume to solidify his Hall of Fame type worthiness. But Mets fans, again, we got to be excited here. This is a team that we've never seen operate the way it has before. They have done everything to an absolute T to reaffirm that we're focusing both short-term and long-term success, but we are bringing in someone that we truly believe is going to be the best fit for us for where we have to get with this current roster configuration. There's a lot of veterans going on, but these are guys that are going to benefit this club now in the short term. And again, as I reiterated from the beginning of this video, for a Steve Cohen that wants to win in a 3 to 5 year span, we want to win every year, but to have that emphasis, to have a Billy Epler who has literally nothing holding him back, like what he did with Artie Moreno with the LA Angels, which was just terrible in its own right, to have nothing holding anyone back, to just go all in, nothing stopping them from where they need to be. And Buck Showalter is the guy for them on the short term, and I think it's the obvious fit here. So I'm absolutely in love with it. I'm loving the direction this team is going down. How do you feel about the Mets hiring Buck Showalter, focusing on the short-term future here, going all in with nothing holding them back? And what are some moves that you would potentially like to see the Mets make once the lockout is lifted that we can actually realistically expect? Again, not all talk. There's actually the walk going on too. It just feels so good to say that as a Mets fan. But of course, let me know all your thoughts as always, folks. And again, if you found yourself enjoying this kind of Mets content and you want to see more great Mets content like this, don't hesitate from smashing that like and subscribe button, sharing this video with your friends, on the notification bell, all those great things. Again, thank you guys so much for the continued support. More great content coming all throughout the week here on WardyNYM and beyond. And I'll talk to you soon. Let's go Mets, baby.